And welcome everyone to Danville, Illinois for game number 1 of our CBA semifinals. It's the number 2 seed, the Fort Wayne Flite, taking on the number 3 seed, the Bowling Green Hornets. Fort Wayne had been in first place all season long until the final game of the regular season when they played at Indianapolis. They did end up losing that game, hence the Blaze becoming the number 1 seed in Fort Wayne Flite, the number 2 seed. Fort Wayne comes in with a 5-3 record. Bowling Green also at 5-3. They are the number 3 seed. Bowling Green in the series history leads it 3-1 over Fort Wayne. Their last meeting was held 2 years ago in the 2015 CBA championship game, where Bowling Green defeated Fort Wayne 97-95 at the buzzer to win their very first title. This was their only playoff matchup, with the 3 prior contests occurring during the regular season. So once again, the last time Fort Wayne has beaten these Bowling Green Hornets, it was all the way back on May the 4th, 2014. Fort Wayne winning it 114-101. Last year it was your Flite winning the CBA championship. That was in Indianapolis. The year before, Bowling Green beating Fort Wayne at the buzzer, and that was at McMillan Park in Fort Wayne, Indiana. We'll start with Fort Wayne and look at some of the key players. Antonio Cannon finished the season as the top scorer in the league with 176 points scored and averaging 22 points per game. He had the second most points in a game this season with 36 points, and he was 7th in the league in total assists with 24. Antonio Wilson also with the Flite, the big man. He was 4th in the league with 79 rebounds and 3rd in the league with 15 blocks. Wilson led the team with averaging 9.9 rebounds and 1.9 blocks per game. Michael Brigham, a new member to the Flite. He has been awesome this year. He was 3rd on the team in points per game, averaging 12.3, 2nd on the team, averaging 8.7 rebounds per game, and was 2nd on the team in total blocks. For Bowling Green, it's the veteran Fred Sturdivant. Started off his career with the Chattanooga Rail Runners. Now playing with Bowling Green. He was one of only 3 players who played in at least 5 games this season who averaged a double-double with 14.4 points per game and 10.8 rebounds per game. He also was 2nd in the league with 2.6 blocks per game. That's Bowling Green's Fred Sturdivant. Monty Burney, also for Bowling Green, led the team in scoring, averaging 14.5 points per game while shooting 80% from the free throw line and 33% from beyond the arc. He was also 2nd on the team in both assists per game at 2.9 and steals per game at 1.8. Also, Jared Stevens for Bowling Green. He was 3rd on the team in total points with 114, trailing Sturdivant, who had 115. Burney had 116. He led the team in 3-point field goal percentage, averaging 40.9% from beyond the arc, and made free throw attempts with 28. 2 dark house players. The first one is Greg Foster. Folks, if you'll remember, Greg Foster a year ago was All-CBA first team selection. He led the Flite to the CBA championship, the first ever in program's history, and just joined the Flite for the final regular season game of the season, and that was the loss at Indianapolis. Before that, he was playing in Saudi Arabia where he was under contract. That's Greg Foster. He led Fort Wayne in scoring, assists, and steals last season and returned from Saudi Arabia and played in the season finale loss at Indianapolis, scoring 22 points in his season debut. Big name to look out for is Greg Foster. For Bowling Green, it's Demarius Smith. If you've been following the Central Basketball Association weekly highlights, you will know that Demarius Smith is a highlight all to himself. Last game out, Demarius Smith had 4 dunks for these Hornets. He scored a career best 10.8 points per game in his 3rd season with the team and led the team in field goal percentage shooting 53%, and assists per game with 3.5 assists per game and 1.9 steals per game. So some of the key players to look out for in today's game. Some of the key head-to-head statistics. Bowling Green was your best offensive team, your highest scoring offensive team in the league this year, averaging 100.6 points per game. Fort Wayne averaging 95.5. Points allowed per game, Bowling Green up there averaging 101.3 points per game, while Fort Wayne has been giving up 94.4 points per game. So to look at that, Bowling Green has a negative point differential, while Fort Wayne has a positive 1.1 point differential entering today's semifinal matchup. Bowling Green shoots 42% from the field. Fort Wayne shoots 42% as well. More specifically, they are both shooting 41.6% from the field. Free throw percentage, Bowling Green hits 67% of their free throws, while Fort Wayne just 61%. Three-point field goal percentage, Bowling Green at 31%, Fort Wayne at 27.9%. Three-point percentage per allowed, Fort Wayne just 27.9, so they play good defense on the perimeter. Bowling Green at 32.4. CBA's prediction for this game is Fort Wayne winning it 86-82. Folks, don't forget, we will shut down this broadcast and come right back at you with live CBA action of game number 2, the number 1 seed, Indianapolis Blaze. Blaze are 6-2 on the season, and they are your regular season champions. They will take on the number 4 seed, the Mississippi Eagles. We'll take a look real quick at the standings after we get done with the introductions and national anthem to today's big game. Folks, our officials today are Kevin Knauer, Kim Carolee, and Nathan Howard. The Illinois coal miners, who are hosting the championship here in Danville, Illinois, just missed out of making the playoffs, folks. They finished with a 4-4 record, the same as Mississippi, but in a head-to-head matchup, it was Mississippi winning. Folks, we're going to turn it over to our PA announcer for the starting lineups. One outstanding national anthem rendition there. Just a 13-year-old from Danville, Illinois, and she did a great job, folks. We're moments away from the starting lineups. And we are going to start off, I believe, with Bowling Green, the number 3 seed. Flite wearing that Hunter's orange, Bowling Green in the green suit. And it is about time for tip-off here. Game number 1 of our CBA semifinals. We are live from Danville, Illinois, Schlerman Academy. And the town's been hit a little bit hard. They lost the GM plant, and their population went from 50 to 30,000. Had a chance to talk with some of the guys beforehand. I guess their football team's co-opted with another school, so we're getting ready to start it off here. And on the floor is number 3, Greg Foster for the Flite, along with number 5, Ronald Lucas, number 8, Wadner Joseph, Antonio Cannon, And that's Fred Sturdivant in the middle for Bowling Green. Sturdivant goes 6'7", 190 pounds. He's a veteran here in the CBA. Been on that all-CBA team year in, year out. As the tip-off's controlled by the Hornets, it's Demarius Smith with the ball. Smith wears number 3. Ball gets over to number 7 on the near wing, Jared Stevens. Stevens walled off by Wilson. Lob goes down the block. Kick out to Sturdivant. Loose ball picked up out of the corner. That's Monty Burney with the triple. So Bowling Green gets the scoring going first with a 3-pointer by Burney to start this game. Lucas on the far wing. Joseph up top. Sturdivant's got the defense. A man-to-man defense here by Bowling Green. And foul off ball going to be called. It goes against number 8 for Fort Wayne. That's Wadner Joseph. Offensive foul. So that'll be Joseph's first. As the Flite are down 3-0. On the far wings, number 3, Demarius Smith. Sturdivant kicks out Smith on the top of the key. 3-pointer out of the corner. That one rims out by Jared Stevens. Possession to the Flite. The Fort Wayne Flite folks started off this season 4-0. But then they went on the road. For Fort Wayne, their first 4 games were at home. They went on the road and lost here at Danville 100-74. Their next game was a win at Baltimore 105-90 before losing their last 2 games at Baltimore 89-86 and at Indianapolis 110-94. Just 1 minute into the CBA semifinal. Sturdivant, quick drive from the top of the keys. He took the ball and just took off. Loose ball rebound by Antonio Cannon. Cannon looking to lob it up to Big T. Antonio Wilson cannot finish. Possession will stay with Fort Wayne. That was last touch by number 9, Marcus Bowens for Bowling Green. Bowens stands 6'5", 220 pounds. He's from Bethel University out of Nashville, Tennessee. Foster, once again, has only played 1 game with the Flite. Does find Antonio Cannon for 3 out of the corner. This game is tied up at 3, 1 minute and 40 seconds in. Errant pass there by number 9, Marcus Bowens, as he was trapped down on the blocks. Turnover for Bowling Green. It'll be the Flite ball with 8:17 left to play. Foster working off that pick set by Antonio Wilson. Wilson drops down to the block. And I believe they're going to call Antonio Cannon for stepping on the sideline there. They do have the NBA three-pointer taped off here. Makes it pretty tight there in the corner. Sturdivant, looks like we're going to travel called on number 7, Jared Stevens. Stevens, 5'10", 170 pounds, from Carson Newman College out of Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Foster, once again, working off that pick by Antonio Wilson. 15-foot jumper is good for Greg Foster. Foster gives Fort Wayne its first lead of the game here at 5-3. Long three-pointer. That was way off the mark by Marcus Bowens. Cannon now pushing it for the Flite. With the defense on Cannon is Monty Burney. Burney, who hit that triple to start the game for Bowling Green. Nice lead by Greg Foster. And we got goaltend called there by Fred Sturdivant. I've never seen that, where his hand was right through the middle of the cylinder. Sturdivant, extremely athletic, but Fort Wayne goes up 7-3. Triple by Monty Burney, his second three-pointer of the game. Burney has all 6 points for Bowling Green as they trail it 7-6. 7 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Kick out, nice one-touch pass to Foster. His three-pointer is going to bound over the backboard. Possession to Bowling Green. Nathan Thompson is coaching Bowling Green here. Over the timeline is Jared Stevens. Bernie goes with the right hand, kicks out Stevens. Three-point attempt left all alone as it's off the mark. That was Demarius Smith with the miss. Smith picks up the loose ball, has a man open in the corner. That was number 7, Stevens, but a foul is going to be called. Foul's going to be called on number 5, Ronald Lucas, with the block. So number 3, Demarius Smith's going to head to the free throw line. Smith on the season, shooting 28.6% from the charity stripe. 4 of 14. Hits the first. So not a good free throw percentage coming into this game, but he does knock both of them down to give Bowling Green back the lead, 8-7. Kick out, Joseph, three-pointer out of the corner is good. Wadner Joseph. 10-8 is your score. Fort Wayne on top. Joseph now underneath the backboard, had to pop out. It's no good. Rebounded by Demarius Smith. Smith finds Stevens, and it rims in. Jared Stevens with the three-pointer. His first points of the game, and that's going to put Bowling Green back up 11-10. Wadner. Cannon's three-pointer is good. Antonio Cannon has come to play today. Fort Wayne goes back on top 13-11. Right-hand drive and losing his dribble is number 8, Monty Burney. He's called with the travel. Driving to the cup, just lost it for a bit. 5:24 left to play here in the opening quarter. Foster picked up by Burney. Cannon's being guarded by number 7, Stevens. Cannon double team there for a second. No double teams allowed here in the CBA as we play FIFA rules. It's been a back and forth game from the tip. Bowling Green held the lead 3-0 after Monty Burney's three-pointer. Feed down low goes to Marcus Bowens. Now out of the corners, Demarius Smith. We do have a shot clock. There's 5 seconds left on the shot clock. As Sturdivant had his shot blocked by Wadner Joseph. Cannon finds Lucas. Good dribble drive as his shot's blocked by Fred Sturdivant. Sturdivant, who averages over 2 blocks per game, and in transition finishing is Demarius Smith for his 4th point of the game. We are tied at 13. Foster over the timeline. Lucas out of the corner. Three-point attempt's no good. It was an air ball attempt, rebounded by Sturdivant. Sturdivant so long, seems like he can get down the floor in about 5 steps. He's fouled and will head to the free throw line. Foul's called on number 1, Antonio Cannon. Sturdivant, first free throw's no good. Entering today's game, Sturdivant shooting 52% from the free throw line, hitting 16 of 31. We talked about him and his blocks earlier. Sturdivant entering with 21 blocks. (14-13) is your score. And our first substitution is going to be Corey Wickware coming in for the Flite. He's a sharpshooter. He comes in for Ronald Lucas. Marcus Bowen's going to come out for Bowling Green. into the game. It's number 6, Darius Ingram. But Sturdivant coming in with 21 blocks. He's averaging 2.6 blocks per game. And blocking foul going to be called on Antonio Wilson as driving to the cup was Monty Burney, number 8. Jared Stevens now with the inbounds. Smith being guarded by Wickware. Smith does have the height advantage there, and traveling going to be called in the lane. Demarius Smith, 26 years old, 6'2", 190 pounds, from Austin Peay State University out of Clarksville, Tennessee. Looking at Corey Wickware, he's 5'10", 160 out of Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville. And this time it's turnover on the Flite. Wickware, one of the top three-point shooters in the CBA. Entering today's game, Demarius Cruz out of Baltimore leads the CBA with 26 three-pointers made. Right behind him is Anthony White Jr. out of Indianapolis with 19. Big block by Antonio Wilson, but they're going to call a foul on Big T. Chris Kapushian, sharpshooter for Bowling Green, who I do not believe made the trip. He's number 3, well, tied for number 2 in the CBA with 19 three-pointers. Jared Stevens right behind him with 18. Monty Burney with 18 as well, as the Bowling Green Hornets are the best three-point shooting team in the CBA. First free throw for Fred Sturdivant is good. Sturdivant's got some chrome on the back of his sneakers. Fred is now 2 of 3 from the free throw line. He's got 2 points. We'll make it 3 points. Checking into this game will be Mikel Brigham. For the Flite, Brigham, in his second to last game of the season against Baltimore, put up double-digit rebounds. Coach of the Flite is Rod Wilmot, as Burney gets the, or Brigham, gets the tip in. Fort Wayne down in this game, 16-15. Burney, left-handed dribble drive on the baseline, looks to kick out. Smith. Ingram down low, and they're going to call a jump ball as Mikel Brigham got a hand on it. No travel called on number 6, Darius Ingram. It was close, as these guys are just so fast and so athletic at this level. Here in the CBA in the semifinals, Cannon, Foster, little hesitation dribble. All alone is Corey Wickware out of the corner for 3, no good. Stevens with the board. Now in transition, a beautiful feed from Smith to Stevens. This is no good. Sturdivant with the board, and he's fouled. You see that a lot with the bigs, their ability to get to the free throw line. As mentioned earlier, Sturdivant entering today with a 52% free throw percentage, but in this game he's hit 3 out of 4. He's going to shoot another 2. First free throw for Fred, no good. Second free throw attempt goes off the top of the backboard. I don't believe they're going to count that. So Jacob Shackley, who was the head coach for the Hornets, has had to step down here towards the end of the season due to some family issues. And Nathan Thompson, who also works with the Central Basketball Association and was the head coach when the Hornets won it all back in 2015. And they're going to say the shot does not count there by Antonio Cannon. We had a foul on the floor by Stevens. So for Jared Stevens, that'll be his first. Hornets hold the lead, 17-15. So obviously not a perfect situation for Coach Thompson to get back on the floor, but he will take it here in the CBA playoffs. Foster's three-point attempts no good. Coming down with the rebound was number 1, Daquan Brown. Three-pointer by Stevens left short. Wickware pushes it up to Cannon. Cannon working from the near wing. Three-pointer is up and in. Antonio Cannon has been on fire in this game. That's his third three-pointer. Flite back up 18-17. Looks like a foul is going to be called on Greg Foster, number 3. We are in the double bonus now for Bowling Green, as Sturdivant will once again shoot 2. Missed his last 2 free throws. He's currently 3 of 6. First one's good. We'll make it 4 of 7. Also on the floor for Bowling Green is number 11, Jonathan Williams. Second one's no good. So Sturdivant will hit 1 of 2 to tie this game up at 18. Foster, good spin move. Really good defense by Ingram, but he was retreating backwards, and they'll call a blocking foul on Darius Ingram, number 6. Ingram, 6'5", 200 pounds, from Harris Stowe State University out of Clarksville, Tennessee. Widener Joseph going to check out of the game for the Flite. Checking in is number 11, Terrence Beasley. At the free throw line will be Greg Foster to shoot 2. Foster entering today, hitting 4 of 13 free throws, shooting 31%. He's only played in 1 game before today. He'll hit his first. For Greg, that's his 3rd point of the game. Number 11, Terrence Beasley, 6'6", 220 pounds, from Tulane University. He's out of Pensacola, Florida. And we got a lane violation called on the Hornets. So Foster will shoot again. His team up 19-18. Second free throw attempt is good. So Beasley now checks in for Joseph. Michael Brigham on the floor. Looks like Lance Williams, number 4, also set to check in. Daquan Brown nearly had that ball stolen and finally does get it knocked away by Foster. Brown, good spin move. Lost his balance a little bit as the pass intended for Sturdivant. Well, that was a laser from 2 feet away. Williams coming into the game for Foster. Lance enters this game averaging 3 points per game, as Antonio Cannon will bring it up. Cannon, the 2014 league MVP. His squad, the Flite, winning the championship over, I believe it was Columbus a year ago. As a three-pointer is good by Lance Williams. Comes right into this game and drops a triple. His team up by 5 now, 23-18. Sturdivant off balance. Floater's no good. Losing the handle there was Ingram. We're going the other way with the Flite. And Cannon. Antonio Cannon now 4 of 4 from three-point land. And foul's going to be called on Lance Williams with the block. This gym's kind of got an old school feel to it, especially with the lights reflecting off the floor. Old school CBA fans will be remembered of the Chattanooga Rail Runners. They played in the gym kind of similar to this, as that first free throw attempt is no good by Daquan Brown. No air conditioning or anything in in the gym. Kind of muggy, but it's got that nice old school basketball feel. Daquan Brown hits the second free throw. His team down 26-19. Cannon over the timeline, goes straight to the cup and throws it down. That's a highlight for sure for Antonio Cannon. Haven't seen that in a while from Cannon. As at times, folks, he can absolutely wow the crowd. Cannon only goes 6 foot 190. Folks, he can do it all when it comes to rocking the rim. With the inbounds pass will be Corey Wickware. Wickware, nice find to Michael Brigham. And the Flite will take the 30-19 lead into the second quarter. What a great find there by Wickware. He had Cannon wide open in the corner, but knew that Brigham was going to be wide open on the block. High percentage shot taken there by Michael Brigham, as the Flite are really coming alive here. Central Basketball Association semifinals, your number 2 and 3 seed here with the Flite and the Bowling Green Hornets. This is a rematch. Last time these two played was in the playoffs, not last year, but 2 years ago. In that game, Bowling Green won it 97-95 for a CBA championship. Game number 2 today, 7 p.m. start Central Standard Time, will be the number 1 seeded Indianapolis Blaze versus the number 4 seed Mississippi Eagles. 10-minute quarters here, FIFA rules. Each team gets 2 timeouts per quarter or per half. We get ready to start the second quarter. Antonio Cannon will remain on the floor for the Flite. Same squad for the Flite that ended the first quarter, out here for the second. Over the timeline is number 3, Demarius Smith. Smith had 4 points. He was also 2 of 2 from the free throw line there in the first quarter. Possession will stay with Bowling Green. 12 seconds on the shot clock. 9:48 on the game clock. Sturdivant, step back jumper is good. Fred Sturdivant had all 4 points in the first quarter from the free throw line, picks up his 6th point there. Jumper in the lane. Wickware down to Michael Brigham. Bowens with the defense. 2 very large men down there on the block. Wickware's pass is stolen by Bernie in transition up to Smith. Loose ball picked up by Bernie. And we got a foul going to be called on the Flite. No foul call. Checking in will be number 3, Greg Foster, in for Antonio Cannon. Inbounds pass goes to Sturdivant. Baseline jumper. No good, rebounded by Williams. Foster pushing the tempo for the Flite. Wickware left all alone in the corner, drops the triple. Corey Wickware with his first 3 points of the game. Flite up 33-21. Good looking shot with the putback was Fred Sturdivant. Sturdivant now with 8 points. That leads Bowling Green. Foul's going to be called on number 7. That's Stevens. That'll be his second. Wickware being guarded by Stevens. His fadeaway jumper is good. Corey Wickware starting to heat up, and that's bad news for Bowling Green. Wickware entering today shoots 32% from beyond the arc, just 36% from the field, but it is a short season. Smith, Marcus Bowens. Good job by Lance Williams Jr. off ball, knocking it away. Williams now for 3, left short. Burney with the rebound. Burney pushes up to Stevens, and he's going to be fouled by Lance Williams Jr. Once again, our officials, Kevin Kukauer, Jamison Kimmerly, and Nathan Howard. Stevens, his first free throw attempt of the game is good. Stevens entering today hitting 76% of his free throws. He now has 4 points. Bowling Green down by 11, 35-24. Second's good as well. So checking in for Stevens will be number 1, Daquan Brown. Foster over the timeline. Michael Brigham sinking down to the block now. Left all alone is number 11, Terrence Beasley, who drains the triple. Beasley, his first 3 points of the game. The Flite has been on fire from beyond the arc, folks. Strong take by Monty Burney. Blocking foul called on Terrence Beasley. It seemed like he was set. Beasley's going to pick up his first foul. Fouls do reset every single quarter. So for the Flite, that's their second foul. Bowling Green with 1. Once we hit the bonus, each team gets 2 free throws. First free throw attempt is up and in. Burney now has 7 points. Entering today, he averages 15 points per game while shooting 80% from the free throw line. Second one's a miss. And that was last touch, I believe, was Michael Brigham. Him and Marcus Bowens were battling for the board. So the first timeout of the game will be called by Coach Nathan Thompson and the Bowling Green Hornets. The Flite so far with 8 points here in the second quarter. Bowling Green was 7. Fort Wayne won the first quarter 30-19. So Fort Wayne's leading scorer is Antonio Cannon. He's got 16 three-pointers made on the season entering today's game. That leads his team as well. He averages 22 points per game, which ranks him number 2 in the Central Basketball Association. Miles Thrash, the veteran from Middle Tennessee. He only played in 3 games this year. Averaged 27.3 points per game. There might be a correlation between Miles Thrash only playing 3 games this year and Middle Tennessee only winning 1 game this year. They lost 7. That is the worst record in the 5-year history of the Middle Tennessee Storm. With the inbounds pass, it's number 3, Demarius Smith. Smith gets it in there to Brown, and that's knocked out of bounds off of Lance Williams. Williams has been playing some spectacular defense here for Fort Wayne. Inbounds pass goes up to Burney. Burney trying to split the seam there. Beasley and Williams could not do it. Marcus Bowens, his jumper is an air ball attempt picked up by Foster. Foster calling for Lance Williams to come up to the wing. He will be called with traveling. Turnover by the Flite. Fort Wayne up 38-26, 7:23 left to play in the second quarter. This is game number 1 of our Central Basketball Association semifinals. Game number 2 will take place 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, as the 2 winners will match up tomorrow, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, tip-off. Three-pointer, no good by Burney, rebounded by Beasley. Beasley, no-look pass, finds Lance Williams Jr. as Fred Sturdivant has his second block of the game. Checking in will be Ingram in for Marcus Bowens. Bowens has yet to score in this game. Darius Ingram has yet to score as well for Bowling Green. Corey Wickware inbounds it. Beasley, catch and release as the baseline jumper is good for number 11, Terrence Beasley. He's now got 5 points in this game. Hit a triple earlier in the frame. Burney, the handoff goes to Ingram. Burney now in the near wing. Nice dribble drive as that was swatted by Marcus Bowens. Sturdivant. His pass deflected by Beasley, picked up by Brown. Baseline jumper a little bit too long. Brigham. Beasley, a little bit of contact down there with Monty Burney. No harm, no foul. Sturdivant down low. Looked like he was going to go up with 2 hands before being fouled. He must have lost his momentum in the air. Foul's called on number 11. That's Terrence Beasley. His second. Team's third. So at the free throw line, it's Sturdivant. First one is good. For Sturdivant, that's his 8th free throw attempt of the game. It's 5 of 8. That second one's good. 6 of 10 from the free throw line in this game now is Fred Sturdivant. Sturdivant leaves the game. In for Bowling Green's number 11, Jonathan Williams. As the three-pointer's good by Corey Wickware. Wickware now has 8 points. That's his second three-pointer in the second quarter. Traveling going to be called on number 3, Demarius Smith. Flite really starting to put it on Bowling Green here, up 43-28 with just 6 minutes left to go. Greg Foster left. Nice dribble drive there by Foster. Somehow he was able to escape Ingram and finish with the lay-in. Foster now has 6 points in this one. His first 2 points here in the second quarter. Foul's called on number 3, Greg Foster. So Sturdivant, Jared Stevens going to check back in for Bowling Green. Wadner Joseph, along with number 10, Christopher Henderson, checking in for Fort Wayne. Henderson hit 2 triples in his last game against Indianapolis. He was 2 of 3 from three-point land in that game. Foul called off the ball. Called on number 6 for Bowling Green, Ingram. So Darius Ingram picks up his second foul. For Bowling Green, I believe that's their second team foul. Wickware down to Brigham, who's blocked by Fred Sturdivant. Sturdivant picks up the loose ball. For Fred, that's his third block of the game. Bernie walled off, finds Sturdivant in the lane for 2. Nice find by Monty Bernie. Sturdivant now has 8 points in the second half, 12 points in the game. Cannon, floater's no good. Sturdivant comes out with it. Fred, Bernie could not hold on to that pass as he had it knocked away. Henderson, no look, finds Cannon. Antonio's going to be fouled by Jonathan Williams, number 11. For Williams, that'll be his first, team's third. Actually, they have Bowling Green with 2 team fouls. We'll stay with the official scoreboard. Thought they had a quick foul to start this quarter. Henderson with the inbounds. Wickware has 8 points, 2 3-pointers in this quarter. Michael Brigham down low, battling against Ingram. Goes hard off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Stevens. The 5', 10-inch Stevens boards it down in the trees. Baseline jumper, and it's good. For Darius Ingram, who picks up his first 2 points of the game, that'll pull Bowling Green to within 13 with 4:17 left to play in the second. Henderson misses his first 3-point attempt. Foul going to be called on Wadner Joseph. He was looking to box out Sturdivant. Either way, they're going to call a clearing foul on Joseph as Sturdivant took a tumble. For Wadner, that'll be his second. Fred Sturdivant is just one of those players you want on your team because he can do everything. And he's a big boy. Because the first free throw is good. He's always amongst the league leaders in blocks. He can fill it up. He can get you a double-double. His defense is spectacular. He will miss his first free throw of the second quarter. He's 3 of 4 from the free throw line just here in the second. And he can get to the free throw line. Brigham with the putback. Michael Brigham now with 6 points. Those are his first 2 points here in the second quarter. As you saw Sturdivant quickly get into the cup. Fred knows the camera's live and he's putting on a show for the Danville crowd and for all you folks watching at home we're on the Facebook, CBA Facebook page or on the CBA YouTube channel. Foul's called on number 11, Jonathan Williams. That'll be his second. Michael Brigham at the free throw line. Michael shoots 50% from the charity stripe, hitting 12 of 24 free throws. First free throw attempt. Rims in. What a great addition Michael Brigham has been for Benny Lewis, the general manager of the Fort Wayne Flite. Brigham, 6'6", 230 pounds, out of the University of Indianapolis. He's originally from Danville, Illinois. That's Michael Brigham. Brigham checks out. Big T, Antonio Wilson, checks back in. Antonio Wilson is a native of Fort Wayne, Indiana. He was on the last basketball team that played at Elmhurst High School. Elbow jumper by Antonio Cannon is good. He was looking for a foul. Thought he was fouled by Jonathan Williams. Turnover by Bowling Green. So Cannon gets his first 2 points of the second quarter. Folks, he hit 4 3-pointers in the first. He's got 16 points to lead. That's a game high. Wickware looking to drive with the right hand. Stevens giving him the right hand all day. Cannon now with the take in the lane as he just hangs in the air. Antonio Cannon by far putting together his best game of the season. He's shooting it at a very high percentage. Loose ball on the floor. Picked up by Mr. Hustle, Wadner Joseph. We got a jump ball. And this is where it starts to get fun. As once again, this is FIFA rules. So alternating possessions. Bowling Green did get the tip off. So bringing it up is number 10, Chris Henderson. Henderson, 6 foot, 180 pounds from Graceland University out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Cannon three-pointer is good. And folks, we do have the NBA three-point line on the floor. Quick take by Jared Stevens as he was able to catch the Flite napping. For Stevens, that's his 7th point of the game. 56-37 is your score. Wickware and a blocking foul is going to be called on Darius Ingram. For Ingram, that'll be his 3rd. Wickware will head to the free throw line for the first time in this game. I take that back. We have an inbounds by Henderson, who gets it into Wickware. Foul going to be called on Bowling Green's number 7, Jared Stevens. For Stevens, that's his 3rd here in the second quarter with 2 minutes left to play. Wickware now gets to the free throw line. Corey, a 76% free throw shooter in just 8 games this season, hits the first. He now has 9 points. Checking in for the Flite is Robert Banks. Banks has just played in 4 games this year, averaging 5.5 points per game. 3-point attempt by Brown, no good. Rebounded by Joseph. Loose ball foul, this time's called on number 9, Marcus Bowens. For Bowens, that's his 1st. Flite lead at 58-37 with 1:55 left to play in the first half. It's Widener Joseph now at the free throw line. Both teams in the bonus. Joseph will miss the first. Widener's got 3 points in this game as he had a triple in the first quarter. Joseph, a 60% free throw shooter, hitting 15 of 25 entering today. Hits 1 of 2. Another timeout called by Bowling Green and Coach Nathan Thompson. Nathan Thompson will be substituting as head coach for Bowling Green this weekend, replacing Jacob Shackley, who had a 10-6 career record in his 2nd season as head coach. Thompson, who led Bowling Green to their first title game appearance in 2013 and their first championship title in 2015, has a 13-10 career record. Fort Wayne Flite are coached by Roderick Wilmot. Coach Wilmot has a 27-13 career record in his 4th season as head coach, including a 4-2 record in the postseason, but has a 1-3 record against Bowling Green head coach Nathan Thompson in head-to-head battles. So Coach Wilmot, who's the winningest coach in CBA history, looking to chip away at that head-to-head record with Coach Thompson. And right now, he's feeling pretty good about it with a 22-point lead. So bringing it up for Bowling Green is Demarius Smith. Smith kicks out. Jonathan Williams driving from the corner. Blocking foul called by Widener Joseph, as that's the 2nd blocking foul that we've seen in this game. The other one called on Bowling Green, where it definitely looked like the feet were set. No, actually both were called against Fort Wayne. So heading to the free throw line will be Jonathan Williams to shoot 2. Williams looking for his first points of the game. Entering today, an 83% free throw shooter. He's 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Hits the first. Second's good as well. 20-point advantage for Fort Wayne, up 59-39. Henderson over the timeline. In the highlight videos, I thought Henderson was a lot taller than 6 feet. As he turns the ball over, good play by Marcus Bowens. Skip pass goes out to Jonathan Williams for 3. That one's left short. Cannon with the rebound. Has Henderson to his left and goes to Henderson, knocked away by the Hornets. Folks, we will have some halftime festivities for you. Big shout out to Jim Shepard with the Illinois Coal Miner Association. He does such a great job putting these events on. As the lay-in is good by Wadner Joseph. He's fouled and will head to the free throw line looking for the and one. Foul's called on, I believe that's number 8. Foul's actually called on number 9. That'll be his second, Marcus Bowens. So Joseph cannot complete the three-point play. Joseph now 1 of 3 from the free throw line in this game. Loose ball, Henderson turns it, Williams turns it over, picked up by Henderson. Henderson, Joseph, good hesitation. Has a nice feed down low to Henderson, who picks up his first 2 points of the game. Wadner Joseph with the assist. 63-39. Skip pass goes over to Williams. Down low, Marcus Bowens. He was stuck underneath the backboard, pops out, and gets it off glass. For Marcus Bowens, his first 2 points of the game. Cannon, Henderson. Henderson gives it back over to Cannon. 11 seconds, 10 seconds. Not being able to convert down low was Banks as he had it partially blocked. Nice feed from Smith to Brown. Brown gets fouled and will head to the free throw line to shoot 2. Foul's called on number 9, Robert Banks. Banks is from Detroit, Michigan. Played college ball at Olivet College. He's 6'5", 190. Brown, his first free throws, no good. Brown is now 1 of 3 from the charity stripe in this game. Entering today a 65% free throw shooter, hitting 13 of 20 in the 8-game regular season. Brown played in all 8 games. Second one is good. Ingram checks out for Bowling Green. Checking in is number 10, Isaac Bragg. Coach Rod Wilmot and the Flite take a timeout here. Daquan Brown, 27-year-old, played at Drury University. Drury out of Springfield, Missouri. I actually got my degree from Missouri State, so same town there in Springfield. But Drury, a Division II school, actually won the national championship. I want to say that was back in 2013. I'm not sure if Daquan Brown was a part of that team. What a beautiful facility they have there at Drury University. So Daquan with just 2 points in this game. A free throw in the first quarter and a free throw in the second quarter. Henderson with the inbounds pass. And that's an errant throw. Good job by Marcus Bowens kind of ensuring that ball goes out of bounds. No need for him to pick that up. There's 2.7 seconds left. bad turnover for the Flite. But then again, they lead it by 21 points. So it's all good for Fort Wayne as Bragg gets it in. Three-point attempt by Williams is no good. So at the half, it's Fort Wayne leading it 63-42. Folks, we're going to take a break here, and we'll let you enjoy the halftime action here in Danville, Illinois. Welcome back, everyone, as we are just 4 minutes away to the start of the second half here in Danville, Illinois. This is game number 1 of the Central Basketball Association Championships. This is the semifinal matchup between your number 2 seed, the Fort Wayne Flite, and the number 3 seed, Bowling Green Hornets. Of course, the Flite are your defending CBA champions, and they were led by 2014 CBA MVP Antonio Cannon, who had 21 points there in the first half. Folks, in the first quarter, he was on fire, hitting 4 3-pointers and a deuce. He had 14 points in the first quarter. Antonio Cannon is your leading scorer in this game with 21 points. Corey Wickware has 9. Greg Foster with 6 points. Lance Williams with 3. Wadner Joseph with 6 points. Chris Henderson had 2 points. Terrence Beasley with 5. Antonio Wilson with 2. And Michael Brigham had 8 points for your Flite, who had 63 at the break. Looking at Bowling Green, Daquan Brown had 2 points. Number 3, Demarius Smith, he ended up with 4 points there in the first half. Fred Sturdivant led the Hornets with 15 points. Darius Ingram had 2. And number 7, Jared Stevens, had 7 points. Monty Burney, who opened this game with a 3-pointer to give Bowling Green the 3-0 lead, has 7 points. Marcus Bowens with 2 points. And Jonathan Williams with 2 points. Bowling Green, 42 first half points, but they have a mountain to climb if they're going to get back into this game. Joining me in the booth is Chris Bell, an assistant coach for the Illinois Coal Miners, who just finished up their first season as part of the CBA and finished with a 4-4 record, which tied them for 4th place with Mississippi. Unfortunately for Illinois, they lost the head-to-head matchup with Mississippi, so they did not make the playoffs. But Chris, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
What do you think about the first year in the CBA for the Illinois Coal Miners?
It's extremely overwhelming. I really enjoyed it. Me and Coach Spezia, we had a great time. We met pretty much all summer long, just trying to gear up for this. So nothing can really prepare us for this. You know, I coached 2 years in the PBL prior to this. So Coach brought me in to really try to help him and just assist him. It's been enjoyable so far. This matchup today, it's incredible. It's been incredible so far, Jeff.
Well, one of the top players, one of the top scorers in the league this year was Tyron Criswell. We got to know him and love him throughout the course of the regular season. Talk to us a little bit about your star player who averaged 21.6 points per game for the Coal Miners.
Tyron is an absolutely unbelievable athlete. He works so hard. He practiced every day. He was there before and after practice working. Unfortunately, in the game that we had just recently against Bowling Green, he hurt his foot. He had a broken foot. Our starting point guard, Kashif Watson, he broke his hand. But their presence was still needed on the floor, so they tried to play through their injury. So unfortunately, we couldn't come up with the win, and they're here now. You know, so congrats to them. Tip off to them. Hopefully, they can get back in this game.
Yeah, you guys had a road trip, didn't you? Middle Tennessee and Bowling Green to end the season.
Absolutely. We played against Tennessee the Saturday, and then woke up that next morning and played against Kentucky, Bowling Green, and that's how it went.
Absolutely. So talk about this Bowling Green squad. They're a team that opened up the season losing to Middle Tennessee. That was the only win for the Storm all season long.
Yeah, right.
But Bowling Green was able to bounce back. They were one of the stronger teams towards the end of the season. Mm-hmm. You guys got to see them in that final regular season game. Mm-hmm. What did you think, and do you see the same team out here today in this game?
There are some similarities. They were a lot more aggressive against us. They smelled blood, you know, when you got injured players. They did what any team is supposed to do. You go out there, you punch hard. And they're a very aggressive team. They're playing somewhat of a chippy game today, but I just kind of think that Fort Wayne wants it a little bit more in this particular game. But Bowling Green has established their identity of just being chippy. They're going to go after it.
Well, you make a strong point there. You know, Fort Wayne Flite, they are the defending CBA champions. But the end of the season didn't exactly whittle out the way they wanted to, losing 3 of 4 games. Fort Wayne was in first place the entire season until that final matchup with Indianapolis. Obviously, due to proximity, just 2 hours away between the Blaze and Flite. That really hurt. That was a punch in the gut for Fort Wayne to come into this playoffs as the number 2 seed and not the 1 seed. Sturdivant misses on the jumper, and that was contested by Wadner Joseph. Greg Foster, he's going to switch sides of the court with Antonio Cannon. These two trained together in the offseason. They know each other's game very well, both from Indianapolis, Indiana. As Foster tries to cross up Bernie. Bernie doing a good job with the defense there, but Foster's going to head to the free throw line.
I tell you what, you got to watch Greg. He's a brainiac. He's very brilliant on the floor. He's leading the team with 6 assists right now, so he's doing a balanced job.
Greg Foster taking over some of the point guard duties from Antonio Cannon with 6 points here or 6 assists, to lead all players in this game. He's going to hit the first free throw. Greg now has 7 points. Foster did a little bit of everything for Fort Wayne last year and in turn got himself a contract in Saudi Arabia. So the first 2 free throws are down. 65-42 is your lead for the Flite. 9:23 left to play in the third quarter. Monty Burney, he was left all alone there in the lane, had to switch to the left hand and missed. Wadner Joseph with the rebound has it knocked away by Burney from behind. Daquan Brown misses with the right hand, but we do have a foul on the floor. Foul goes against number 1, Antonio Cannon. For Cannon, that'll be his second. With the inbounds pass will be number 3, Demarius Smith. Inbounds pass goes up to Bernie. Foster with the defense. Down low, Marcus Bowens went up with the left hand, had it swatted by Big T, Antonio Wilson. Of course, Sturdivant. The floater, right hand by Daquan Brown, no good. As Cannon gets it back to Ronald Lucas. Strong take, left hand, no good. Rebounded by Sturdivant. Fred Sturdivant's been cleaning the boards here all game long. 3-pointers, no good. Rebounded by Wilson, who has it ripped away by Burney. Burney's pass intended for Demarius Smith. I'm not sure Smith was on the same page, as that one bounced off his foot and went out of bounds. 8:32 left to play in the third quarter. Foster over the timeline. Wilson comes up to set the pick at the elbow. Joseph top of the key, looking to drive against Sturdivant. Another block shot. Unofficially, that's number 4 for Fred Sturdivant. What do you think about Sturdivant's game here? I've got to see him. This is probably my 4th season. And I just think he's one of the better basketball players in the CBA because of his versatility. He can do so much on the floor.
He's very athletic, so when you got somebody like that, I call them tweeners, so they can play in between, certain different positions. So they're definitely very versatile.
Outlet pass goes down to Smith. Cannot hit the bunny. Putback's no good by Bowens. Rebounded by Wadner Joseph. Flite going the other way with it. Foster to so quick, no-look pass. That was a skip pass to Ronald Lucas. Finds Joseph underneath. The Flite have scored the first 4 points of the third quarter. Wadner Joseph gets his 8th point of the game. Nice strong take, reverse lay-in for Monty Burney.
I'll tell you what, he was very hot against us. He had like 29 points on us, so I'm very surprised he's kind of reluctant in this game.
Monty Burney needs to get more shots off, as you just heard. And I can see that. Foster nearly double teamed there for a second. He's able to get that separation. He's just so quick as Wadner Joseph hits his second 3-pointer of the game. Joseph opened up this game with a 3-pointer. He now has 11 points. Flite up 70-44.
Here it comes.
Burney knocks it down. Monty Burney, who had 2 3-pointers in the first quarter, that's his first 3-pointer since. Foster, no look, finds Cannon out of the corner. And traveling called on Mr. Antonio Cannon. I've got to ask you, your first time seeing Cannon, he stands 6 feet tall, But, boy, is he an explosive player.
Oh, my gosh, that dunk. I nearly fell out of my bleacher there.
Isn't that awesome?
That was awesome. That was the first time I've seen him do that all season.
And that's something we've come to know and love from Antonio Cannon, who's in his 4th season in the CBA. As nice putback there for number 3, Demarius Smith. Smith now with 6 points in his game. His team down by 31. Antonio Cannon, I think it was during the 2014 season, threw an alley-oop pass to himself. They call it traveling, but it was still super impressive.
Oh, my gosh. That's incredible.
Foul going to be called. It goes against number 9 with the push. That's Marcus Bowens. For Bowens, that'll be his 3rd, team 2nd. In for the Flite. Like it's the same lineup on the floor as Big T. Antonio Wilson's first free throw attempt is up and in. For Wilson, that's his 3rd point of the game. Big T entering today, shooting 42% from the free throw line, hitting 5 of 12. Coach, you know, sometimes I read off some of these free throw percentages. It's like 40%, but when you've only shot the ball 12 times, you know, it's an 8-game regular season. Sometimes it just takes time to get into the flow, kind of get your stroke back.
Absolutely. They get to the line, they take a deep breath and try to find the seams real quick.
And I imagine for these guys, a lot of times it's pick-up ball. It's just playing at the local Y during the season, getting ready for this season.
Absolutely.
So Big T hits the first but misses the second. 71-49 is your score. So checking back in for Bowling Green, it's going to be Jared Stevens, number 7, along with number 6, Darius Ingram. Bernie running the point. Ronald Lucas with the defense. Nice pick set by Ingram. Lucas sticks with Ingram now. Sturdivant one-on-one with Antonio Wilson. Elbow jumper fadeaway is no good. Picking up the loose ball is Sturdivant. Bernie now for 3, left short. Demarius Smith, his reverse lane's no good. You can see Smith get up with those hops. Very explosive in his own right is number 3, Demarius Smith. Like I said, when the legs start getting tired, that's when Smith starts throwing them down, as he can take advantage of the opposing team's lack of endurance. Joseph for 3, looking for number 3, knocks it down. Boy, things are going good when Wadner Joseph starts hitting triples.
Absolutely.
He now has 14 points in this game, 3 3-pointers made. Coach Wilmot is just loving it over here from the Fort Wayne bench.
I'll tell you what, when you're moving that ball like that, it's contagious. Your team can get hot real quick.
And we've seen Coach Wilmot year after year kind of instill that in his offense. You're not looking for good shots, you're looking for great shots. And here with the shot clock, they don't have all the time they need to find that, but Coach Wilmot, they've got it down to a science here in Fort Wayne now, as that's going to be a turnover. Stepping on the baseline was the Hornets. 5:12 left to play. The gym really starting to heat up here with Indianapolis and Mississippi sitting in the bleachers. Lucas 4-3 out of the corners, no good. Ingram with the board. Inside 5 minutes to play. From the free throw line, that's Jared Stevens hitting the jumper. Stevens now has 9 points in this game, 51 for Bowling Green. Wadner Joseph, wow. Left all alone. What happened? How did he get that wide open?
He left a bad, that means there's no communication on D.
So there was no help there down on the block as Wadner Joseph was left all alone. Joseph has 10 points just in the third as Ronald Lucas finishes. The Fort Wayne Flite definitely has a deeper bench, and that's starting to pay off here as Bernie hits the triple. Bernie, his second three-pointer of the third quarter, he now has 15 points. Foster from 15 feet out. No good, rebounded by Bernie. We got a foul. It's going to go against number 8. Excuse me, the foul's called on number 5, Ronald Lucas. For Lucas, never mind, the foul's called on number 8, Wadner Joseph, and that's his third. Four minutes left to go. Demarius Smith bringing the ball up for the Hornets as Ronald Lucas takes a tumble all the way to the corner. Right now it's 5-on-4, but Antonio Cannon leads the charge, leaves it up to Beasley, who could not hit the finger roll. Ronald Lucas is still down as we have an injured player. Looks like he might have rolled an ankle. Play continues to go on, and in FIFA rules, the coach cannot call the timeout. Is that right? Or
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay,
yeah.
the coach can't.
I learned
the
that
player
the hard
can.
way as well. Coach Spazier was absent in 2 games, and I had to take him for 2 games. In fact, one of them we get the split on, and I tried that, and they said, "Coach, you can't do that."
So you talked about coaching in the PDL.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, what's your basketball experience like? Are you from Danville?
Now, born and raised right here in Danville,
Okay.
Illinois. And,
So do you
coached-
know Michael Brigham?
I do. He played. He actually was a teammate of mine. We played in a couple of Dust Bowls. I played a lot with a few of these guys, and so when they see me, they call me the players' coach. I understand what they're going through and dealing with. And I didn't play at where they are, so I definitely just kind of kept it around here. But I love the game, and Coach Spazier knows that. And I spent a lot of time with him in film, and he just gave me an opportunity, and here I am.
And you guys host the Junior College National Championships
Every
here?
year, and that's because of Coach Spazier. He started that.
Is it in this gym here?
It's at the Danville Area Community College.
Okay. So we got a nice cozy confines here.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Schlarman Academy.
Schlarman Academy. That's grades 9 through 12?
That's correct. Yep. That's
So
correct.
high school here is turnover picked up by Greg Foster.
Oh, my
Foster
goodness.
looking for the lob
Oh,
to
my goodness.
Antonio Wilson. What a beautiful feed by number 3, Greg Foster. On the other end, Brown gets 2 of his own. 80-56, 3:08 left to play. Antonio Cannon backing down Brown. Right-hand shots no good. Loose ball picked up by Cannon, gets it out to Foster. Fresh 24 on the shot clock. No-look pass goes right through the fingertips of Terrence Beasley. Loose ball picked up by Cannon. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Cannon, triple is good. He is on fire. His first 3 points of the third quarter. He has 24 in this game. I've never seen Antonio Cannon shoot 3-pointers like he's shooting today. Everything's going in.
You can tell after that dunk, everything else was the rim just became big for him. He's soaring right now.
Demarius Smith answers with the jumper. He has 4 points in the third quarter, 8 points in this game. 2 minutes left to play in the third. Foster, Wilson. Wilson shot off the mark. Was picked up by number 10, Isaac Bragg. Just inside the arc. Long deuce is no good by Demarius Smith. And Bowling Green, you can tell the legs are starting to get a little bit tired. Wickware kicks out. Good ball movement around the perimeter. Foster is looking for that seam, and he has it. Finger roll is good. He's fouled. We'll head to the free throw line looking for the and-one. Foster now has 10 points in this game. Looking for the three-point play. 85-58 is your score. 1:33 left to go. Foul's called on number 10, Isaac Bragg. That'll be his first, team's third. So Greg Foster, who is a perfect 4 of 4 from the free throw line, looking for the and one. No good. Nice rebound by Beasley and gets the putback. That's all heart right there by Terrence Beasley, who picks up his 7th point of the game. Beasley really bringing an extra spark here for these Flite.
All it takes is a spark plug from somebody off the bench or just somebody with that energy.
Michael Brigham's going to enter the game for the Flite along with Lance Williams. Wickware. Stevens with the defense. 1 minute left to go. Brigham being guarded by Marcus Bowens. Pulls up for the baseline jumper, no good. Rebounded by Sturdivant. Sturdivant back on the floor for Bowling Green, and that is definitely a good thing. He's being guarded by Beasley. Terrence Beasley looking to come up with the steal, and we got a jump ball. Possession this time should be in the favor of the Flite, and it is. Cannon quickly gets it into Lance Williams, gets the ball back. Brigham inside the arc, no good. Monty Burney with the board. We got possession's going to stay with Bowling Green. 46.2 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Pass goes up to Smith. Demarius Smith loses it in the lane, contested by Cannon. Beasley to Brigham. No look feed to Lance Williams out of the corner. 3-ball attempts no good. Stevens racing to get to the other end and finishes with the right hand. Jared Stevens now with 9 points in this game. 20 seconds left as the shot clock and game clock are the same. Out of the corner, Lance gets right through Burney as Monty Burney holding his side a little bit right there. I'm not sure if he took an elbow or a shoulder. Was trying to draw the charge. Burney's okay though. Just a little bit winded. The end of the 3rd here couldn't come any faster for Bowling Green. They just have 4 players on their bench, and the Flite have a full bench. And that makes a big difference here in the CBA.
It does.
Stevens, beautiful move, freeing himself away from Lance Williams, finishes off glass. 87-62 is your score heading into the 4th quarter. So Bowling Green scored 20 points in the 3rd. Fort Wayne scored 24.
I tell you what, those corners was wide open for Fort Wayne. They probably hit a ton of shots in those corners. The way Coach has their offense set up, those guards can get in there and penetrate and make you collapse and guard them and kick out.
Well, we got the NBA 3-point line taped onto the floor here. We did see Antonio get called with stepping on the sideline. You know, as the corner can be shrunk a lot when you get that NBA 3-pointer in there.
Oh, yes. And that was one of the things we talked about, Coach Frazier and I, being careful, having your feet set, knowing where you are on the catch. So that's very vital. We still see it,
Now, during the regular season, were you playing your home games here at Schlerman?
We played all our games except one here. In the, one of the games we played at Danville Area Community College. In fact, it was against Fort Wayne. That game, we were fortunate enough to win that game. And it looked like they didn't have all their players with them at that game as well. So, exactly, when you see that situation, you got to take advantage of it. And
absolutely.
So we were able to give them their first loss in history.
What was one of the toughest obstacles as a first-year organization here in the Central Basketball Association?
I'd say support. I think it's not really the basketball team or structure itself. It's really getting the city or your community to support you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that can be felt throughout the league, but it's not a one-time thing.
Right.
That's a 24/7, 365 type thing where I know Benny Lewis, the general manager of the Fort Wayne Flite, he does a really good job on Facebook just keeping people engaged all year round. And there at the McMillan Community Center, a lot of the younger basketball players from the Fort Wayne area, you know, they grow up playing there.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really neat to see the guys mature and become high school kids and really just do such a good job. But I will tell you this much, Indianapolis, I've been so impressed with what they've been able to do.
Yes.
They travel well. When they came to Fort Wayne, they brought probably half the people in the gymnasium. And at their place, they've always got a good crowd.
Absolutely.
So with 9 minutes left to play here in this game, we're in the fourth quarter. It's 87-62. Sturdivant, nice take to the cup. He's fouled. And the foul's called on Michael Brigham, number 15. For Sturdivant, that's just his first bucket here in the second half. He's got 17 points. Looking for the and one. Knocks it down. Corey Wickware for the Flite has 9 points. All 9 points came in the second quarter. Jared Stevens playing the tight defense there, called with the kick. Just 14 seconds left on the shot clock as Fred Sturdivant with another block, unofficially his 5th block of the game. Demarius Smith going up hard, was met at the peak by Brigham. He's fouled and will head to the free throw line to shoot 2. Wow, that's as strong as a take as I've seen in this league.
I'll tell you what, he caught one of our guys in our game when we played against us, and I was surprised. He had those sneaky hops, and he'd take off on you.
Yeah, he's the type of guy where if you saw 4 dunks from him in a game, it's not uncommon. Very explosive. Got to believe that vertical's up around 42, 43.
Absolutely.
Just a guess. Entering today's game, Demarius Smith shooting 30% from the free throw line, hitting 4 of 14. There he knocks them both down. He now has 10 points in this game. Brigham nearly had it stolen from behind. Finds Lance Williams, who goes high off glass. Great looking move there by Lance Williams. He's only 5'11". You could tell right there with that strong baseline take, he's used to playing against guys that are 6'6" or taller. Absolutely. As he went high off the glass there, just skating it beyond the outstretched fingertips of the Hornet defender.
Oh, absolutely.
Cannon's going to check out as Wadner Joseph and Greg Foster check back in. Beasley also out for Fort Wayne. Inbounds pass goes up to Monty Burney. Bowens with the pick set, as Burney was all the way out there by the timeline. Jared Stevens, wow, he's quick. Nice little floater in the lane for Stevens. Jared has 8 points in the second half, 15 in the game. Foster, Lance Williams left all alone in the corner, drops the triple.
Greg Foster's 1 assist away from a double-double.
That's pretty cool there when you can hit double digits in assists. You know, we see double-doubles all the time in the CBA, but it's usually rebounds and scoring. Yeah. We did get a triple-double last weekend. I cannot remember who exactly that was, but anytime you're registering double assist, it really just means you're a special player.
Oh, absolutely. I've always been a fan of Greg since he played while he played against us a few years ago for the Indianapolis Diesels in the PBL. He's a top-notch guard.
Well, and in game number 2, we're going to get to see Mississippi Eagles, and they've got a player by the name of Anthony Jones. He's the one that had the triple-double last weekend. Awesome. And I believe that was a win against the Hornets, if I'm not mistaken. And Mississippi needed that win to stay alive in the playoff hunt.
Awesome.
Foster picks up the loose ball, his own. As Bowling Green's playing some good defense, but that's a turnover. That ball went right through his fingertips.
That was one of those catches where he was pre-thinking ahead and couldn't really grab it first.
So being here in Danville, Illinois, I'm assuming it's nothing to head over to Indy to play a game.
Oh, yeah. We love the rivalry. It's a friendly rivalry, but we love playing against Indy.
So Lance Williams trying to get around Monty Burney. I'm not sure if they're going to call foul on number 8. I did not see a foul called. That's some tough defense there by Bernie. As Brigham going after the ball. Possession will stay with Fort Wayne as Sturdivant knocked it away. Or excuse me, Brigham knocks it away. Possession stays with Bowling Green. Smith into Bernie. Pick set by Bowens. Bernie goes the other way with it. Jumper's no good. Joseph with the rebound. Foster picked up by Demarius Smith right away. Working off the pick set by Brigham. These players just so intelligent, don't want to be caught with the double team on defense, but still trying to figure out a way of getting that extra hand in there to knock the ball away. Three-point attempt, no good by Brown. In transition, Foster.
Oh my goodness, that was beautiful.
Picked it up with his fingertips and finger rolled it in. What a beautiful play there by Greg Foster.
That whole play with the right hand. Didn't even touch his left hand.
That was amazing. In stride, never skipped a beat. Foster's going to head to the free throw line looking for the and one. Free throw attempt's no good. Rebounded by Sturdivant. Sitting in the corner all alone is Demarius Smith, who drops the triple. Smith now has 13 points in this game. Williams has it knocked away. Daquan Brown with the steal. Brown now looking for the three and knocks it down. Daquan Brown now has 7 points, his first three-pointer of the game. Foster,
oh my
no
goodness.
look. As Michael Brigham with the two-hand slam. Brigham, his first 2 points in the second half. He has 10 for the game. Yeah, with Foster and Cannon, I feel like these guys, you know, without even using their eyeballs, they know where everybody is on the floor. And you saw it earlier. Foster had a behind-the-back, almost no-look skip pass.
Yeah.
I think that was to Ronald Lucas for a three-pointer. But, wow, that's just a lot of minutes logged in the gym.
Absolutely. When you're able to see the floor and almost predict what your guys are going to do, that's an advantage. You have those guards who just dribble just to dribble. He's one of those guards that dribbles, but he's snapshotting in his head, you know, where his guys are, just getting ready to set it up.
So a timeout called here at 6:30. That's a timeout called by Coach Rod Wilmot. You know, in this situation, his team's up by 22 points. Why call the timeout? Does he just want to regroup or resettle his team? Or does he want his team to have some kind of focus here for the last 6 minutes and 30 seconds so that they can go into the championship game?
Absolutely. You're coaching for the next game at this point. So you're absolutely right. Keeping his guys engaged. Don't want them to have too much fun, and then that calls you to be kind of nonchalant. So you're absolutely right.
You know, looking at the Illinois coal miners, you opened up the season against Mississippi, and it was a 96-84 loss. Did you feel like that was more of a first game in a new league, Mississippi, more of an established team, or were they the better team on that day?
They were the better team. A little bit of both. We came in barely prepared. We kind of got our team together late. You know.
Was it hard to put together your team?
For the most part. You know, we're in the Midwest, and you're trying to get guys from the Midwest and some of the East. So, yeah, absolutely.
That was Marcus Bowens with the two-pointer for Marcus. That's his first 2 points of the second half, his fourth point of the game. Need to get him going. You need a big man on the block that can get you some easy buckets if you're Bowling Green.
Oh, my.
We used to see that from Torres Hampton, who's no longer playing for the Hornets. Possession going back to Bowling Green. It is hot here in this gym. As you can see it from the majority of these players. Nice follow by Sturdivant. Could not finish with the putback. A little bit of contact there on Sturdivant going to the cup. And we got a foul going to be called on Demarius Smith, I do believe. For Demarius, that is just his first foul of the game. Wickware into Foster. Greg, nice feed in between two defenders. Joseph from 18 feet, no good. Joseph then comes up with the steal. Lob into Big T Wilson, who finishes. Antonio Wilson now has 7 points. Three-pointer, or excuse me, driving from the three-point line, that's Jonathan Williams. Foul goes on number 7, James Johnson. So just about everybody that made the trip for the Flite getting into this game, Johnson, the last member to get on the floor.
Usually about the 5-4 minute mark, you want to take your starters out and get them ready for the championship game tomorrow. So we'll see if Coach does it.
Starters on the floor for the Flite: Joseph, Wilson, and Foster. I guess in Foster's situation, the time on the floor with these teammates, seeing how this is just his second game this year with Fort Wayne. Finished up a successful run in Saudi Arabia midway through the season. Through the CBA season, I should say. Foster, Johnson for 3. Just a little bit long. Sturdivant was sky high for the rebound. Bernie, his three-point attempt, left short. That was Johnson with the board. Johnson spent some time in Spain, coming off I believe that was the 2015 season with the Flite. Skip pass goes over to Williams, and he's going to be fouled. He'll get 3 free throws. Foul is going to be called on Antonio Wilson. For Big T, that's his 3rd foul. Williams, who's a perfect 4 of 4 from the free throw line in this game, to shoot 3. The wrong guy to foul.
Absolutely.
If you're the Flite. Williams entering today as an 83% free throw shooter, hitting 5 of 6. So Williams misses the first 2. He's now 4 of 6 from the free throw line. Number 3 is good. So Demarius Smith going to check into the game for Marcus Bowens. Monty Burney also checking out. As Foster gets past to Stevens pretty easily, misses on the lay-in. Sturdivant up to Smith. Scoop shot's good for Demarius Smith. This full court pressure is causing Fort Wayne some fits. Foster was able to blow past it last time, but then missed on the finger roll. We'll see if they stay in this full court press. They kind of have to at this point. Stevens cannot finish, but he's going to head to the free throw line to shoot 2. Foul's called on James Johnson, number 7. Illinois, I got to think the highlight of your season was the win at home against the Flite, 100-74. That's a pretty dominant victory. And the game before, it was a loss at Fort Wayne, 95-86. You know, the Flite under GM Benny Lewis They always travel well. He does a good job of making sure all of his players come to the game. Sturdivant with the putback slam.
Nice.
How hard is it getting all your guys on the same page for those road games, especially when you're going to Nashville?
Oh, absolutely. It was tough just going to play against Indy at home. Oh, my gosh.
Ooh, what a pass, Foster to Antonio Wilson. And that was pretty much from the timeline. What a beautiful feed. The precision passing from Greg Foster. Sturdivant, how he finished there is unreal.
Yeah, we played the Indianapolis Blaze right before Fort Wayne, so we were gassed in that fourth quarter. We were leading predominantly all quarters in that Fort Wayne game, but they held strong. Yeah, they started Cannon. He got hot. And they played well.
Cannon, who's been hot all throughout this game, especially that first quarter where he was 4 of 4 from beyond the arc. He's electric, and
yes,
that's Cannon with the ball right there. Gives it up to Joseph. Now you have all starters on the floor outside of Wickware. Wadner goes up with the left hand. Wadner Joseph been a starter for the Flite pretty much ever since they broke into the league. And he's just a guy you can rely on to give you 110%, rebounds, steals, all the above.
I think every team has that core guy that's going to be there.
Williams steps back, jumper's no good. Cannon with the rebound. Cannon got trapped, was able to get it away. Foster picks up his, being guarded by Stevens. Wickware out of the corner for 3. No good. Corey was trying to tip it to himself. Williams. Skip pass goes to Sturdivant with the two-hand slam.
And that was a lot more ball movement in that possession, and quite a few of their last possession than it was all 3 quarters previous to this quarter. So I'm impressed with that.
And it shows right there that Sturdivant was just wide open. So Antonio Cannon, contested in the air, is fouled. Will head to the free throw line to shoot 2. Cannon still the game's leading scorer. Antonio just 24 points. I say just because he had 21 in the first half.
Wow, yes.
Entering today, Antonio shooting 69% from the free throw line, hitting 46 of 67. First one is good. Second free throw is no good. Rebounded by Smith. Good outlet pass up to Williams, who hits the easy 2. Well, inside 2 minutes to play, 103-90 is your score. Just a 13-point advantage now for the Flite. Obviously, it looks like the tip-off to our second game will be delayed a little bit. Scheduled for 7 p.m. It's like more of a 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time tip. (103-90) on the near wing. That's Daquan Brown. Smith with the rebound. Stevens out of the corner. Triple tries, no good. Sturdivant with the board, looking for the reverse lane, and it's good.
A lot more ball movement going on there. They're really trying to climb back in here with a minute and a half to go.
Sturdivant has 11 points just in the fourth quarter alone. He has 26 points in this game. Wickware out of the corner, knocks it down. Pretty looking stroke there by Corey Wickware, one of the most consistent three-point shooters in the CBA. 1:12 to go. Cannon with the left-hand take is fouled by Monty Burney.
Greg Foster, with his 12th assist and finding that guy in the corner. That is amazing.
So Foster does have the double-double now. 12 assists to go with his 12 points. You know, Greg Foster spent a whole season with the team, and then not the second season, at least the start and majority of the regular season. These guys have already learned from each other. Entering a top-tier player into the mix, that could be unsettling for the whole team.
Oh, God.
If things don't go well.
It's hard to beat a team that has that kind of chemistry.
Three-pointer good by Fred Sturdivant. Sturdivant now the game-high 29 points. Foster is just such an important player. When he's playing on your team, he's probably going to be the best player.
Oh, absolutely. He's a game changer. I mean, when we played against them without him, it was much easier to play them. I couldn't imagine if we played them with him.
It seems like in this situation, you know, Coach Wilmot is sticking with, hey, Antonio Cannon is still the team's leader, and now we're going to work Foster into the mix.
Yeah, that's a level of maturity that those guys have. You know what I mean? You're able to come in and not lose a beat, and they're playing off each other. That's very good. Credit to them for that.
Yeah, and like I said, you know, it's not uncommon to see either Greg or Antonio post a workout of theirs where they'll spend 2 hours in the gym and then just have a dunk off. I mean, it's so much fun. Just their home videos that we see in the gym are a lot of fun to watch. But they work hard. 108-95, 47.5 seconds remaining as the Flite are going to advance to the championship game. Who they'll play? Well, you'll find out here shortly, as getting set to tip off will be Mississippi and Indianapolis. .2 seconds. It's Monty Burney being guarded by Foster. Step back three-pointer is no good. Sturdivant over to Brown. He knocks down the three.
That was deep. That was very deep.
10 points in the game now for Brown. Lob goes to Wadner Joseph. And that will do it. So the Fort Wayne Flite will win it 111-98 in game one of the semifinals. Brown was coming up to foul Foster. They said, no, we're just going to let the time tick away. Well, Jared Stevens might have other thoughts. And Demarius Smith behind the back. Totally worth it for the behind the back dunk. The fans love it. So 111-100. The Fort Wayne Flite will advance to the championship game for the third straight season. Our hat goes off to Coach Rod Wilmot and the Flite. Any last words here from Mr. Chris Bell, the assistant coach from the Illinois Coal Miners?
Great game. This is exactly what you want to see. Fort Wayne heading into the championship. It's going to be electric. Looking forward to it. Thanks for having me, Jay.
Oh, absolutely. Folks, we're going to shut down this broadcast, but we'll be right back with you. Stay here on the CBA YouTube channel and Facebook page for the second game of our semifinal. It'll be Mississippi versus Indianapolis.